Hey everybody, uh, good morning. It is almost 5 a.m. I've been watching MSNBC way too early with Casey Hunt. And I remembered that I haven't done a video since New Year's Day. I was going to try to do one last week, but I talked myself out of it because I'm good at that. Um, it's been kind of a rough start to the year already, as I think it has been for everybody. Um, I've been okay physically, but really worried about my dad. Um, his dementia has been steadily progressing, declining, however you want to look at it, for the past few weeks. And he has Parkinson's too, obviously. And he's, had hallucinations for a while, but he's been very aware that they were hallucinations. Um, for a year or so, he's laughed about seeing little Pokemon type creatures in the living room every time he goes to the kitchen. Um, but he says he knows that they're not really there. And he told the doctor he usually knows when he's hallucinating because he sees the colors orange and red and yellow. The doctor found that interesting. Um, all last summer, he told me how he would sit in his bedroom and watch the tree out back through his window as it blew in the breeze, and the little leaves, which are like, shaped like this, would turn into little circus animals and, be doing things, or into a bunch of little ninjas, like a ninja army, that would be jumping all over the place. He said he quite enjoyed the entertainment. Um, Again, he knew it wasn't really there. Um, in the past month, there have been several instances where, like, he walked out back and saw me. I was just sitting on the ground pulling roots out of the dirt, and he walked back and said, "Where are the kids?" I said, "What kids?" And he said, "There was a little girl crawling on your back and a boy playing in the dirt right there." And I chuckled, "Those must be my ghost kids, that they're not, physically here. There's nobody physically here." He just shake his head and walk away. And last week we walked out of his room toward the kitchen and stopped by my piano, and he looked at me and he goes, "Just how many kids are in that room anyway?" And I said, "What room, Dad?" And he said, "The master, full of kids." And I walked back to the master bedroom with him, and I looked in the doorway and stood there and said, "Dad, there's nobody in here." And he looked across the room and went, "That boy right there." And then a few nights ago, he was sitting on my bed right here and watching the news with me, everything going on with Trump. And uh, he told me there was a kid standing right in front of him, 5, 6 years old, said he couldn't tell whether it was a girl or a boy. And then there was 3 smaller kids standing over by my front door. Plain as day, he said they were here. Ironically, I have miscarried 4 children, so they really might have been my ghost children. But that means if he's seeing through the veil, he may be nearing the end of his life. So, night before last, I walked out of my room to find him sitting on the arm of the couch by the front door. And he was barefooted, which was odd. And he had his pants legs rolled up. And I never see him without his socks. He doesn't let me see his feet. He had to have one toe amputated a few years ago because he has circulation issues. And his big toes were just black. And one toenail had fallen off. And the other one's like this long, growing inward. He'd been complaining this week about his feet hurting. No, no wonder. He told me it was in the arch, though, at the ball near the arch. I guess that's the only place he has feeling left, so that's where it hurts. So I think he's going to have some more toes amputated, and I guess he fell that day too, and he never told me until I had the ambulance already on the way because I was worried about the way he was acting. He says he took a face plant on the porch, front porch. Said he was on one side, ended up on the other, face down. And he never called out to me. He never said anything. I was probably out back taking care of the animals, shoveling rocks. Um, so the nurse called me last night, um, yesterday afternoon / evening, after I'd been calling all day to try to get information on how he was doing. Because, of course, they admitted him that night. The ambulance came and got him and had a hard time getting him out of his house, but they admitted him. The nurse told me that he tried to pull out his IVs in the middle of the night and get up, and I told her that he's prone to sleepwalking. Um, so they had to put him in soft restraint for his own safety. And she said that he had been complaining about his back hurting. He told me his whole body hurt. Um, so they did x-rays, and he has a compound fracture at T12, which I guess is mid-back. So he broke his back, and he's probably going to end up in a wheelchair. They're not sure if they can do surgery or not. They're having an evaluation done today sometime. So I should hear from them later this afternoon. I'll I'll do an update promptly following this. And then she told me, of course, because of protocol, they have to test for COVID-19. And he somehow tested positive. Now, the thing is, Dad doesn't go anywhere. We only have one neighbor that even, like, uh, gave him a ride to the store a couple of weeks ago to get beer. So he was in the car with him. Other than that, I'm the only one he really comes in close contact with. So it's probably likely that he got it from me, which means I have it. So I suppose I should get tested. CVS is doing tests, just have to make an appointment. Anyway, I pretty much quarantined myself, except for my nephew who comes in to sit with me sometimes and watch TV. Um, if he's gonna get it, he would already have it too. And that's our household. So, I don't know. I feel a little lost right now. I could use prayers. And from those of you who don't pray, don't say prayers, just positive thoughts, positive energy. I can't lose him yet. He's 80 years old, but his family tends to live to be in their hundreds. He was pretty strong and able before, a few weeks ago, so probably got it a few weeks. The doctor said it's possible that the COVID could be what's causing his dementia to be worse right now. So if he gets over that, maybe that will get better too. And we'll just have to deal with a wheelchair. I'm going to need to remodel the house now for sure to accommodate a chair. Front porch needs a ramp. We don't have money. So I'm almost ashamed to do it, but I'm going to plead with you guys. If you don't want to, if you're not interested in a book, which you can get um, at my Amazon author page, which I'll put in a link below, um, you could go to middleground.world. It's my website for the Middle Ground Sanctuary. Middle Ground, one word, no dash, dot world. I didn't know you could get a dot world extension, but I'm very excited that I got it. Middle Ground dot world. There's a donation button that you could use to help if you are able. And every donation would be appreciated, no matter how small, even $1. I love you guys. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for caring enough to check back on me. To subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Or if you do the like thing or not. Like it if you like it. Sorry I'm not real chipper. I feel like bursting out in tears. I'm dry, depleted. I'm just say for now. Thank you. Middleground.world.